Good morning. We will pay attention to buyback of shares at the company. A company may decide to reduce its ordinary share capital because it's not using all the capital and to buy back some of the shares that was previously issued to shareholders. According to the Companies Act, they can use surplus funds to buy back or repurchase shares. When they do that, they are not allowed to affect the solvency and the liquidity of the company negatively. Now, according to the different textbooks, there are 3 different methods how you can record the buyback of shares. The next method is the one that's recommended by the Education Department, and it's also the easiest method. Cullinan Limited was registered with an authorized share capital of 1 million shares. Okay, remember, we don't work with authorized share capital. We will only use it in the note. So the authorized share capital is 1 million. The retained income at the beginning of the year was 128,909. This figure will be used in the note for retained income. Cullinan Limited originally sold 500,000 shares at 5 Rand each. That means the original issued share capital is 500,000 times 5 Rand each. That will give you 2.5 million Rand. Cullinan Limited decided on the 30th of June, the last day of the financial year, to buy back 100,000 shares that was originally issued to shareholders, and they will buy it back at the original issue price of 5 Rand. So they sold it to the shareholders at 5 Rand, and they will repurchase it at 5 Rand again. Checks will be issued for 500,000 Rand to pay the shareholders. Now, if we record these entries in the general ledger and in the notes, we will see that in the general ledger, the ordinary share capital opened up with a balance of 500,000 shares times 5, so the opening balance was 2.5 million. Now, if they rebuy shares from the shareholders, it means that this ordinary share capital must reduce with the number of shares that was repurchased and at 5 Rand, the original sales price. So if you decide to buy it back at a higher price, you can still only put 5 Rand on the debit side of your ordinary share capital. And if you buy it back at a higher price, the rest of the amount will be taken out of retained income. So it is very important to look at the price at which the shares were originally sold. That increased my capital account. And with that same amount, you must reduce your ordinary share capital account. If we look at the note, the ordinary share capital, the authorized is the maximum number of shares that the company can sell. This is the only place where we ever use the authorized share capital. The issued share capital is the total number of shares that was issued in previous year, and that will give us a balance at the beginning of the year of 2.5 million. If the company decides to repurchase shares, it means that we have to show that 100,000 ordinary shares were repurchased at the original price. So originally it was sold at 5 Rand, and you can just pay it back at 5 Rand, taking money from your ordinary share capital. So the capital will reduce with 500,000, and now at the end of the year, the ordinary share capital is 2 million. Originally you had 500,000 shares, you repurchased 100,000, so it means the number of shares in issue in the company is 400,000. In the retained income account, the opening balance was given to us. If we decide to repurchase shares at a higher price than the original issue price of 5 Rand, then you will only be able to record under capital that capital was reduced with 5 Rand per share, and the additional amount, if you, for instance, buy it back at 6 Rand, will be shown under retained income. Then the 100,000 times 1 Rand, that's more than the amount that you originally issued it for, will be taken out of retained income.